Three, two, one.
You ready?
Listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're having a great night, weekend, whenever you're checking this out. I've got a review for yes, they've done it again, another Disney live-action offering in The Little Mermaid, which is directed by Rob Marshall. If that name sounds familiar to you, you know him quite a few things. Most likely, he did Annie in 99. Okay, whatever. He was a judge on So You Think You Can Dance, which I do not remember that at all, and I used to love that show. But he directed Chicago, great movie. Memoirs of a Geisha, really good movie. 9, Pirates of the Caribbean. Good God, on Stranger Tides. Into the Woods. I really like Into the Woods quite a bit. Mary Poppins Returns, also like that. So, he's had a pretty damn good track record. This is also written by David McGee. David McGee wrote Finding Neverland, Mrs. Pettigrew Lives for a Day, Life of Pi, the aforementioned Mary Poppins Returns, A Man Called Otto, and now The Little Mermaid. So, another really good track record. If you haven't seen Finding Neverland, by the way, I highly recommend. That's a great freaking movie. But okay, so going into this, we know the game. This is Disney once again going, why would we come up with new ideas when we could go ahead and just remake our old animated shit in live action? And The Little Mermaid, for the original, I will be fully transparent. I didn't watch the original before I went ahead and watched this, because I wanted to be fair and give this its own chance to breathe and be its own thing. And so I was like, let's go in cold. Let's give this a chance. And we have to talk about Halley Bailey, who plays Ariel. That young woman is special. I'm just going to get that out of the way now. She was on, from Grownish, That's My Jam. She was on American Idol earlier this year. But this is really her coming out party, and I have to give this young woman so much credit. Holy freaking crap. Anytime she's on screen, I was sitting there going, wow, she is nailing this. And to be put in such a, let's call it what it is, there will be those dumbass people who go, oh, it's Disney going, go woke, go broke, that dumb bullshit. God, that dumb bullshit. But let's call it what it is. Halley Bailey, she can fucking sing. Oh my God, can she fucking sing? And full disclosure, her rendition of Part of Your World, because you get, teases of that in most of the trailers that they put out, but hearing it start to finish, she crushes it. To be honest, I was in awe. And I don't use that term often, but I was just sitting in the theater. So I just got out of seeing this about 2 hours ago. But I was really sitting in the theater just in awe of the fact that she not only gave me goosebumps, but she actually brought me to tears. I could not believe how much she crushed it. And she's amazing. I cannot wait to see what this young woman does. She is freaking special. Unfortunately, that does not extend to the rest of the film, because the rest of the movie, it's fine. It's fine. The rest of the movie is fine. And just at the end of the day, this is better than most. Like, it is better than most of the Disney live action remakes, I personally would say. Where I get frustrated is it's kind of similar to when Peter Pan and Wendy. It's similar to that, where there are elements I can pick out from it that I go, oh, that's good. I like this. But then there's something immediately that makes me go, oh, that's dumb. Like, why do you have this? Prime example, And I feel bad because I feel like I'm just making fun of these young actors and actresses who are just trying to find their way. But god damn it, what's this kid's name? Jonah Hoyer King is what I'll go with. Yeah, man, I he's not a singer, and he plays Prince Eric. And look, credit where it's due. Halley Bailey and Jonah, they have really good chemistry. Anytime they're not singing together, anytime they're not doing that, they have really good chemistry together. The once Ariel loses her voice, I was really sitting there kind of curious about, okay, are you going to go ahead and how are you going to kind of get around this as far as you pushing the musical aspect more? And really, their workaround is just they go Ariel will sing in her head, which admittedly kind of lame, but I don't really know what I expect him to do, so whatever, I guess. And I got to give the movie credit for that. I was sitting there going, okay, I really appreciate the fact that you're actually continuing, to have their chemistry work throughout all these different scenes. But there's Eric has this number, and it's similar to in the film or in the animated film, where there's that point where him and Max are just kind of messing around on the boat, and there are a bunch of people on the boat with him kind of playing this random ass song, and Eric is kind of riffing to it. They have a scene like that in here, and just when it occurs, I just went, oh no, this guy can't sing. And and I feel bad again, but if you've listened to my review of West Side Story, I roasted that movie for having someone who can't sing in a prominent role, and I'm sorry, Disney, what the hell? You need to get someone who can freaking sing. And this kid, it's just not his forte. He's a very charismatic kid, and as I mentioned, I think I do think he has chemistry with Bailey, but yeah, he's not a singer. Not everyone is, so yeah. If you see the movie, you'll know what I mean. You'll hear it. Trust me, you'll hear it. But outside of that, he's really good. I think he actually has some good screen presence. As I mentioned, he carries himself well. And I don't know. I really like their relationship. I like the way it's portrayed, and I was pleasantly surprised on that aspect of the film. I got to give the movie some credit for that. So, getting to other elements, Melissa McCarthy, if you've listened to the podcast, you know I have a very conflicting relationship with Melissa McCarthy. For every Can You Ever Forgive Me, which if you have not seen that movie, is fucking amazing, and St. Vincent, and oh god, I know I'm forgetting other stuff that she's done. Bridesmaids is fine. It's not as great as some people say it is, but Bridesmaids is fun in parts. But when I think about just off the top of my head, Tammy, Ghostbusters, The Boss, Identity Thief, Life of the Party, just like, geez, Thunder Force, god damn, like, Melissa McCarthy has done so much bullshit that I just want to scream into the void and go, I know you're talented, why do you keep doing this bullshit? Like, you're better than this, or at least you should be. She's the female Adam Sandler at points, or I just want to just shake her and go, stop doing bullshit. You can turn down a check. I promise. It's okay. You will not starve. It's fine. Just turn down a check, for the love of God. But seeing her as Ursula in this, she might have. So part of Your World is my favorite song rendition in this movie. Poor Unfortunate Souls is right there. It is a fucking banger, and the way that Marshall films it, that's one thing about Marshall that, while I don't think he's the strongest director at points, one thing that he's really good at when it comes to these musicals is the scope, and he nails the scope of Ursula when she's when she's being villainous, which is all the time, especially in the last scene where she goes ahead and Rita Repulsa's makes my monster grow when she gets big. I love the way that whole bit is shot, and the whole Poor Unfortunate Soul sequence is so well done, and it's a showstopper. It truly is a showstopper. And there is a level of villainy that I believe you need to hit in order to be an effective Ursula, and McCarthy nails it. Like, I gotta give her credit. I was actually impressed with her performance in this. So credit where it's due. See, I can be nice. I was really impressed with what she did. We don't get a ton of Javier Bardem, who of course you know from Skyfall, No Country for Old Men, just to name a few. The aforementioned Nine. He's in Nine, isn't he? Wow, he is not in Nine. Why did I confuse Javier Bardem with Daniel Day-Lewis? Holy crap. Oh, that's bad. So, look, I think this movie, I think it's a very good case of just being okay. It's kind of in that realm of Peter Pan and Wendy, as I mentioned, where I went, I got a little more out of this than I expected, as I mentioned, when Ursula goes big after Ariel cracks the shell and frees her voice and all that. When Ursula turns into the giant sea witch, that was actually really well done. They kind of have... It's actually very similarly filmed to the boss fight in Kingdom Hearts. When you see the movie, if you've played Kingdom Hearts, you can look up the boss fight on YouTube. But when you see it, you're going to go, oh yeah, I see what Hunter's talking about. Again, mentioning the scope that Rob Marshall was able to nail. He does a really good job as far as filming that whole fight sequence and that whole final fight. And I really like the fact that Ariel is more independent in this film. I think it doesn't feel shoehorned in or anything like that. It feels like a very natural progression as far as this new adaptation. And then there's something that Ursula does with the spell when she goes ahead and steals Ariel's voice, that when she did it, I went, why didn't they do this in the original? It was actually one of those things I went, that's shockingly clever, and yet it's something that I felt like should have always been there. When you hear it, you'll go, oh, okay, yeah, I see what Hunter's talking about. It caught me off guard, but in the best way. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot to discuss. Like I said, does every musical number work? No. The end did work for me. There are a couple things that aren't in here that I was surprised by. So, for example, when Ariel gives up her voice, you remember in the animated film, Ursula makes her go ahead and sign, this giant gold scroll, this contract, and they don't have that in here. I don't know. I appreciate the pageantry of that. That's a CGI effect. You could have done that shit. I was a little irritated by that. And then, what was the other thing? They don't show Ariel really losing her sea legs. It just kind of happens. You'll see. You'll know what I mean when. You'll know what I mean when you see it. And also, I just kind of went, I would have liked to see the pageantry of that. Also, at the end of the movie, when Ariel and Eric go off together, pardon me, I really liked the aspect of Triton making that rainbow appear. I really liked that. It's a subtle thing, but something I really liked in the animated version. And you don't get that here. And I kind of went, alright. Again, I know these are going to be nitpicks to some people, but it was stuff that I actually missed from the original. But this is fine. At the end of the day, it's fine. It's a solid C+. Do you need to rush out and see this? No, but as I mentioned, the big thing that you can take away from this movie above everything else is that Halley Bailey is a star. And I was so happy for her that this movie exists. But if you've seen the original, you can look up clips on YouTube, when this hits streaming or whatever. You don't need to rush out to see this. I think this will do well because I think there are a lot of little girls who want to see themselves as Ariel, and honestly, that's awesome. So, I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo on what the kids want. Like I said, I just watched freaking Ghosted. My tolerance for BS right now is very high because of watching that. But I've seen far worse kids films. I've seen far worse Disney live action adaptations. Hell, Dumbo was way worse than this shit. So I'm not even mad at this, but it's fine. It's a C plus. Get it? C SEA. Anyways, but It's fine for what it is, and like I said, incredible Ariel performance. I thought McCarthy did a great job, but yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. But everyone, Little Mermaid remake. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Let us know in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. You can follow us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. That helps the podcast out a lot. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. You can go ahead and follow us on Linktree as well at linktr.ee/jhunterrealpineapple. You can find all of our information, all of our sites and everything there. You can follow yours truly on Instagram at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow me on TikTok at Black Shazam, and you can follow me on at Black Shazam 775 on TikTok, and you can follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for listening. We have a lot of reviews coming up here soon, including a re-review of Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. I'm real excited to rewatch that before Across the Spider-Verse next week. And it's my birthday coming up. So June is my birth month, so we're going to have several reviews dropping for stuff that I just want to watch and haven't reviewed yet on the channel proper. So I'll have some special guests on to just talk about some movies, and I'm real excited to bring some unexpected stuff to y'all. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon.